guys, welcome back to another Bums Blitz video. I'm your host, The Bum. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you, if you haven't done it already, to subscribe to the channel. Just pause the video just for a second. Click the little red button down below. You get all the notifications every time I post a video. In this video, we're going to talk about Doug Baldwin. People say he's going to regress this season, and I want to tackle that head on. Okay, so the question is, will Doug Baldwin regress from his production from last year? He had 14 touchdowns, 1,000 yards receiving. He was a surprise, shocking wide receiver, #1 last year. That kind of snuck up on all of us. He was probably the best wide receiver in the whole league for 8 games, the last 8 games. And really, it was a pleasant surprise for guys who stashed him or got him off the waiver wires. Some guys already had him, obviously. But really, in that offense, you think of the Seattle Seahawks, you don't think, wow, okay, there's going to be a guy who catches 14 touchdowns in this offense. And if there was, you would have thought it would have been Jimmy Graham. That wasn't the case. It was Doug Baldwin. Okay, so will he regress? I think he will regress. He has to regress. Because if you take a deeper look into his stats, okay, he did all that damage in 8 games. It was the last 8 games where he scored 12 touchdowns of his 14 touchdowns. That means he only had 2 touchdowns in the beginning of the season. He didn't have 100 yards receiving in the beginning of the season. It all comes down to one thing, though. Okay, it was when Marshawn Lynch got hurt or left the game in Arizona. That was Doug Baldwin's first 100-yard game, and after that he scored multiple touchdowns in about 4 or 5 games. He had 2 games where he scored 3 touchdowns. It was incredible what he did. The production was crazy. But if you put that on just average, okay, and he did that through a whole season, he has 24 touchdowns. That's impossible for him to keep up. So obviously he's going to regress. All right, but we got to really think about what actually happened. Their offense changed because they couldn't run the ball as effectively as before, and that caused them to throw the ball. They put the ball in Russell Wilson's hands a lot more, and the offense changed. And now Doug Baldwin actually has a new role. He's more important to their offense. Okay, so that was half a year's worth of production from him. Now, obviously, like I've said, he's not going to continue that. So, yes, he will regress from his statistics from the half of the year. But if let's just say he regresses 50%, which is a lot, but let's just say 50%, that means he will have 5, 6 touchdowns for 8 games. But that production also wasn't happening at all in the beginning of the year. So now this year, it's the same situation. No Marshawn Lynch. That offense will remain the same, especially since it was pretty effective. So now he has a full year, or a full half year that he didn't have before in that same offense, where he only scored 2 touchdowns. But now he's going to keep that 50% of the 12 touchdowns. He'll keep that now going into the beginning of the season and carry it on to the end of the season. So even if he does regress from that half season that he had there, he still has another half season where he's going to improve drastically. Even if he scores only 4 touchdowns, you're talking about a guy that has 9 to 10 touchdowns now, and he'll probably increase his receiving numbers as far as the yardage goes. So you're still talking about a really quality wide receiver. Now, right now he's going in around about 5, 6, 7, depending on your format, which makes him like a wide receiver 2. That's great value for me. I believe that is someone that you need to actually go after. A lot of people are kind of down because they think, wow, he cannot keep up those numbers in touchdowns. I think he may not get to 14 touchdowns maybe, but throughout a whole season, he will be a solid number 2 wide receiver and someone you should definitely go after. Hey guys, I know that video was a little bit hard to keep up with, but I promise you it makes sense if you just try to think like me for a minute. Do that. Anyways, if you have any questions at all about what I said in the video, please comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, you can always reach me on Twitter at BumsBlitz, Facebook BumsBlitz, and at bumsblitz.com. I keep it real simple for you. Anyways, until next time, I will see you later.